So as we've said before, we're not psychology buffs or we're not psychology lovers necessarily. We just found it interesting that Maslow had coined this term and described the characteristics of people that are self-actualized in a psychological context.
which is kind of fulfilled.
Yeah,
People who
which
are
I
happy
would use the
enough.
word fulfilled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fulfilled makes more sense. He
yeah,
coined his own term to make it original. Good on him,
yeah,
and he did well by doing that. But at the end of the day, it's kind of life fulfillment, self
yeah.
fulfillment, and daily fulfillment down to the minute. That kind of thing, and living like that. And we don't sit around over analyzing how we lived.
No.
So I think that's what's interesting, and I think that's what kind of makes me connect more is that
Yeah.
fact that we sit around and talk a lot, and a lot of the time we're not that focused on it. So I always find it interesting when there's a topic that sums up so many different things that people do.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, it's like doing an IQ test. People like doing that. I don't like it, but people do that sort of
Yeah, they
stuff.
do.
To me, this is like a bigger version.
Or it's like the Myers-Briggs, the are you introverted,
Yeah,
extroverted,
same
those
deal.
kind of
It's
things.
like
Yeah.
it's just like a
Like a
self-experiment thing.
yeah, like understanding self and understanding a bit about how you live your life. And the whole point of Will in the World initially was to kind of show the walk the talk, be real, and share kind of examples of how we live in a fulfilled way, because it dawned on us, in the last couple of years that we're actually quite fulfilled and we don't need much. Our needs are not external to our environment. And all of this is kind of summing up self actualization,
Yeah,
which is kind of funny,
it is.
right?
And again, didn't mean to be, just
No.
is from different experiences and different things.
Mm.
And again, not looking down on anyone. Like, we're not saying
No.
we're champions of anything. We're happy with what we do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's all that matters. All you have to be is happy within yourself. I don't
Yes.
care what anyone thinks. I don't care if people get on, call me cooked and all this shit. I don't care. I am. So what? Like, more interesting than just sitting there writing to every single comment, "Oh, you're cooked." Well, that to me boring. What an idiot. Like, good on you. And call me cooked, I actually do enjoy it. So
Yeah, you like it. It's a
I do.
compliment.
It is a compliment to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
So, out of the 15, number 3 is spontaneity, simplicity, and naturalness. So, I'll kick off this one if that's all right, and then you can think of one in your
I didn't
example.
even, wasn't even ready. Doesn't matter. Spontaneity. That's what
Yeah,
we're
well,
talking
that's
about.
right.
That's what we're
I thought
doing.
we're jumping into number
That's what we're
3.
doing.
So the version I wanted to share was more about, because it ties in with simplicity and naturalness as well. Is Matt and I have lived in 21 different houses. Well, I've lived in 21 different houses. I think we've lived in about, oh gosh, I don't even know, about 10 at least.
Yeah.
So we've been together for 22 years, and we literally have moved every second year we
Yeah.
moved, apart from when we bought this place.
But it was our choice.
It was our choice. That's what I'm getting to with spontaneity.
Sorry.
No, you can explain.
I know that.
But it was our choice, definitely. And the reason for that ties back to simplicity. So the reason we moved a lot was because we never wanted to be stuck.
Don't
And we
settle for
never
less.
yes. We never wanted to settle for something that wasn't vibing with us. So we lived in a few different places. So both of us are from Sydney, city, different parts of Sydney, but we're both from Sydney. We both grew up in Sydney. So from childhood, we both grew up there. So for us, we have the experience of living in a more urban environment. When I was 14, my family moved to the South Coast, so about 2.5 hours away from where I lived in Sydney. Matt moved further down he went down the Southern Highlands when he was in his early 20s, right? So we both moved gradually out of Sydney and found our own way. Long story short, we both ended up meeting on the South Coast. So, in a remote village,
An idyllic fishing town. Amazing, beautiful place.
The far South Coast.
Beautiful
of New
nature.
South Wales.
Amazing nature.
Beautiful place. It was
People
lovely. It was
sucked,
like
but nature was
paradise.
nice.
It was lovely. So we met there. Just Matt happened to be there building a house for his mum and just wanted a change of scenery again. And I lived about probably 3 hours, 3.5 hours from there. So we connected in a really idyllic place. But
On Yahoo.
yeah, we did. We met on
Throw it on
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
That's
No, I
another.
don't even know what Yahoo is. Comment if you know what Yahoo is.
And if
If
you
you do,
do, let's have
you're
a
too
laugh.
old.
Yeah. We met on Yahoo group. So we were in a group and we were chatting in the chat room and then went DMs because we were taking over the
Before
chat room.
Google, just FYI. So
Yeah.
way before Google existed.
Yeah.
That
So we took over the chat room just talking in the chat thing. And then we realized, we better go and talk privately.
yeah, they were like, get a room.
Yeah, get a room. Everyone
What are you
kept saying,
doing?
guys.
Oh, sorry, I
look
didn't
at the
realize
chat."
where I was.
Anyway, that was a long time ago. So we met on Yahoo, and all of that was
Spontaneity.
spontaneity for sure. Gosh,
Like
I
no
have
one was on the
stories.
internet back then.
Okay, you
No
tell
one.
that story as your spontaneity one
Which one?
then. The Yahoo thing. I'm sharing my story about spontaneity right
Sorry,
now.
I'll shush there.
So my version is the moving. So we literally would leave a place when it wasn't suiting us anymore or when we weren't vibing with it. We never wanted to bog down, buy a house really early, feel like we have to set up home there and just, dig our heels in, because a lot of the time we were in places because we were, doing something for a family member, or we were going, for their journey or whatever it might have been. We weren't necessarily there for ourselves. And so we knew, we had this innate knowing together that we hadn't found our place yet. We didn't know where we were going to end up. So we moved from the south coast of New South Wales to Melbourne. Spontaneously, we just said, we need a change. We were working from home. This is when we'd started our business. I was pregnant with our second child, and we had our little one. We had our eldest, and we decided that we wanted to go to Melbourne, not the city, but on the outskirts of Melbourne. So we did that. The whole of Matt's family kind of came along, and it was all a big plan to kind of.
I didn't know that was going to happen. That was
No,
a bit
we
random.
didn't. We were going to go, and
We
then
were
they
going, and
decided
then
to come.
everyone
That's all
came.
right. We all ended up doing it as a mission. So it ended up being good for a few years. We lived in, the Dandenong, so a very pretty, idyllic part of Melbourne. And we got to explore Melbourne. And so we loved those years because we were off, that was very convenient. We had markets on our doorstep. We could go to the city if we wanted to. It was quite a lovely place to live. But what we didn't realize is living in a very different part of the world, living in Sydney and living kind of, then on the coast for so many years, living in the mountains was very different.
Yeah.
So we struggled with the mountains only because it was very hot in the summer, very cold in the winter. There was really no in between. Autumn was the best time of year. And it wasn't really the part of the mountains that we wanted to be.
No, we were a bit lower than we should have been.
We should have been a bit higher.
Every second day, a tree falls on your house. We literally left a house and a tree fell through the middle of it 6 months later.
Yes.
Like these trees were not small trees. These were like 6 people couldn't put their arms around it. Like we're
Big
talking
ash,
ancient shit. Ancient
yeah.
old trees. And when they
Ash.
fall down, one nearly killed Mindy and the baby just fell
It was
as you were walking. Yeah,
it
was massive.
It
was a dangerous area.
Child.
And very hilly. You couldn't even walk.
So when our second child was 6 weeks old, we packed up and we moved. But so we stayed there for nearly 3 years. And we packed up and we moved to Phillip Island. And we wanted to go near the coast again. We were missing the coast. And so we had visited the island a couple of times. We went, right, we'll get a rental down here. And so we got a rental place on Phillip Island, had our daughter down there. We lived in 2 different places on Phillip Island. Different parts of the island. We wanted to experience the main part, that we lived in another little town. The island wasn't quite kicking it for us either. It was quite a weird energy on the island. I can't describe it. It was it was weird.
Had bad juju.
Really bad vibes.
Yeah, bad vibes.
Very idyllic, very pretty. But there was the people are just
and second biggest tourist destination in Australia.
Yeah.
So we were living on this place,
all this
which
energy
is
coming
full of tourists too. Like, so, and I'm not saying the tourists were the problem. It wasn't the tourists.
No.
It was the locals that were more the problem.
Yeah, look,
and just history. It was a weird place.
It had a weird energy. Anyway, it wasn't for us.
No.
So my mum had been quite ill at the time that we lived on the island, like palliative. So we were driving
12 hours away.
So up to New South Wales. So we were driving a lot up to see her, to spend time, back and forth at that time. And so on the way, we'd always stop in halfway kind of there, and we loved it. We loved this area. We
Lakes
thought it was
entrance.
beautiful. Lakes
Yeah.
entrance. And we
Beautiful
thought
spot.
the
I
whole
wouldn't live there.
part, the people everywhere around that area were just so lovely. So we ended up making a decision to move to a town not too far from there, probably about half an hour from there, right? And so that's where we set up home. That's where we went and got a rental, and we stayed there for a good 6 years. But we lived
Was
in
it that
three
long?
different houses. Yeah.
Yeah.
We lived in three different houses while
Yeah.
we were there,
Yeah.
but we lived there for 6 years. So it's the first time that we'd actually based ourselves somewhere for that long, because we really did like the area. But we'd lived in a few different houses and had a few different work opportunities and things like that while we lived there. Anyway, we realized that we'd done our time there, and we've ended up where we are now. And that came about quite mystical as well. But what the method of those stories are is we've moved so many times
Spontaneity.
because we spontaneously, if we're both feeling disconnected from something, we're not going to vibe it. We're not going to stick around. We're not going to keep doing it. And we don't like flogging a dead horse. We're not those people. We won't just keep pushing the proverbial uphill. We will work out what needs to change. And a lot of it is where you base yourself. And so when we felt that there was a change needed in our environment, we would literally just pack up and go. And so this place we've been in now since 2018. So that's been a long time for us. That's
Yes,
been
it's super
7
long.
years. And so 7 years for us in a place is crazy.
And we're running out of space, so the move's
Yes,
coming.
we are, when we know this isn't our forever home.
No.
Like, we love it here
We'll
though.
leave it for the kids and we'll go to our land.
Yeah, we know where we want to be. We've got our idyllic location. We know where we want to be. We want to go further south. But we've got plans for that, and we're working towards that because we won't settle. But we are at the moment, though, in our reality. This is the other thing too: is simplicity. Is we have a very simple home. We don't have, massive big mansion, or we don't have too much. We have just what we need. And the beautiful thing about the simplicity of this place is that it's right in town. Literally, our kids who are now teenagers can go into town whenever they want to. They've got access to amenities. It's not too big like a city where we worry. It's still very regional, but it's definitely, it feels that need of simplicity and naturalness because we're in regional. So we have fresh air. We've got the mountains, the beach. We've got all these wonderful things around us. It's a beautiful location. So for us, it works in terms of the simplicity and the naturalness. So I'm not feeling for once in my life an urgency that I have to be out of here. Whereas other places I felt like I really can't do another 6 months here. I can't do it. Whereas here I can. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't
But we got to
feel
move.
yeah, I like
We
this
got to move.
area. I like the people, the
Yeah, the people are
energy.
really nice.
It's an amazing place. So when we do go to our land, which we will do, we're going to have our idyllic place that we set up for the rest of our lives. That's going to be on our terms. That's going to be done when the timing is right. We're going to trust that timing. It's not right now, but we know it won't be like extremely far into the future either.
Here, here.
Yeah. So your spontaneity story.
I'm not going to do a really long one for this. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I was a rebel without a cause. I always did what I wanted to do. Everything I ever have done was spontaneous. I don't care what other people think about it. And I do like to keep it simple. I like the simple things in life. When I was young and fit, I liked surfing because it was nature. I like bushwalking, riding through nature. I loved nature. It was a heaps better place to be than a house. And moving into doing building as a job, I quickly realized that simplicity with housing is essential because I don't want to spend 20 grand a year on maintenance. I don't want to have high tech shit that breaks all the time. I just want to live in a house that I don't care about if someone punches a hole in the wall. Well, they shouldn't do that. But I don't care if something breaks, and if it's not spectacularly crazy, I'll just get a secondhand thing, throw it in, replace it. So my simplicity is everything I do, I try to do it myself. We don't take our cars to mechanics. We don't get electricians or plumbers or tilers or anything. because all that stuff is simple to do yourself.
Mm.
Not everyone's going to have the same skills. I totally get that. But at the same time, if you keep everything around you simple, having to deal with complexity can't attack you. It's not there. So, and yeah, look, at the end of the day, I just like everything simple because I'm not overthinking. I overthink enough about other shit. I don't need to be sitting around worrying about, material stuff, especially. Like, I think keeping material stuff simple. For example, we drive a really old car, 2006, Japanese imports. We always own Japanese imports. We had Nissan Skylines and Soras. We've had everything that's an import. And because they're high tech, but they're simple. They're not a piece of shit like what they make in Australia, you know. So I find their complexity simple because I don't have to touch it. It works. So everything I do, it's easy and simple. A car is to get you from A to B. I don't need to look flash when I'm doing that. I don't care. But our van actually looks pretty flash. It looks like a mafia van. So it is flash, but
Mm.
that's not the point. It's a 7-seater minivan that's hotted up basically. And we've owned a few of these old babies, and they never go. They don't need a service. They just need me to pat them occasionally and look after them, and that's enough. So, like cars is one thing I think people get too wrapped up in, and it's dumb. Like EVs and all this total dog shit that people are doing, and housing. I think everyone over makes it too complex and too clean and pretty and perfect. A house is to be lived in, and that's what it's for. It's not an asset. But like that should never have happened. But that's another problem for another day, and everyone's feeling that now. But I think being around nature is something that I crave and always have. And me and Mindy want to get out there more. We've just been so busy doing so many things that our next step is to walk the talk on number 3.
I was going to say our simple camping setup is another
Oh, so simple.
and we love it. It's just perfect for us. Not expensive. We own it outright. We didn't spend too much on it.
Yeah.
But it's a little camper, very old little camper. Matt has to maintain it. We know Matt.
Well, I'm rebuilding it. It needs a lot of work.
Rebuilding it, and it's a project he can work on. But it's also something that for us and our needs, our kids are getting older now, so our older boys don't come. Our youngest will still come along, and he's got his own little spot. He goes in his little tent, and he enjoys having his own spot to sleep in. But we go and we be in nature, and we're so comfortable there. Just even locally, like even an hour away from where we are.
Yeah.
So many beautiful spots.
We live in the middle of nature, so we can go 10 minutes either side of our house and camp, and it's 20 beautiful. Minutes,
and we're like literally in creeks and rivers and mountains and
surf,
and ocean
snow,
and snow.
Whatever you want.
We are very blessed to be where we are, and we love to be out. Our comfortability, our spontaneity is Friday. Getting up, going, oh, beautiful weather this weekend. We've booked a place. Let's go camping,
Yeah,
and
totally.
we glamp. I don't camp anymore. I'm way too old.
No, we do glamp, even though it's simple. It's very it's got everything you need, and plus a bit more.
And we've got it set up so we can just take off, and we will be doing that. So we're going to be showcasing.
Yeah, we'll be doing a lot of that.
A whole lot of that. A lot of our filming will come from.
We'll be around the campfire talks. We're doing all sorts of shit.
Going for walks and just showing where we are, and just being a part of it and showing that it doesn't have to be.
But it'll be spontaneous simplistic in nature.
Yes.
Number 3. That's what we've been talking about.
Actually, for us, whenever we've gone out on family holidays, it's always been something in nature, somewhere simple. And we've never done the over-glorified, get the kids on a plane.
No, let's go to America. Yeah, right. Oh, fuck.
No, we go in our own little backyard and we love it. Like, there's so much to
explore your own country before you're running overseas.
And the kids have all had a great time every time we've done that. So we're going to do it more for ourselves a little bit now that they're getting older. They can come along if they want to. But they're getting to the point where they're doing their own lives, and they don't want to hang around daggy mum and dad, do they?
No, we're not daggy. We're the fucking kick-ass motherfuckers that scare them. Our kids are rebelling against us by doing fucking normal shit.
I don't mind being daggy though.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
They can go and do their own thing, and we get to explore a bit ourselves. But it doesn't mean that we're abandoning them or anything. They literally are happy for us to go.
They'll be fine.
So they get excited when we say we're going.
Yeah, totally. They
especially the
planned it.
boys. Yeah.
They want parties and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Well, get to it.
By the way, they're 19 and nearly 18. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're talking
No, we're not talking little
young
kids.
teenagers.
No.
They are getting older. Like they're adults. You're pretty much,
As a
so
number, they're getting older.
they are.
But,
Yes.
but
But yes, still a lot of growing to do, but that's okay.
it's rapid.
All right. Yeah. So number 3, spontaneity, simplicity, and naturalness. We really just try to go with the flow of everything in our life. We don't try
This
to
isn't scripted.
No.
This is not
That
scripted.
was the big thing. No, we don't
We
script
don't
it. This is a
write this down.
podcast just for
We're just
we've only
talking.
got the points on the board so we don't forget what they are.
Yeah.
But we don't write a script with anything. We don't practice. We literally just jump on and go, oh yeah, what can we use as an example for this? And sometimes we don't even
I
pre-do
didn't
it.
have one today. I
Oh,
read the board and I didn't have one.
no.
You spoke a bit and then I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah,
there,
that makes sense.
there's a
Yeah.
story. Cares.
And there are so many because we live because we do live
Spontaneously.
actualize, we could just come up with them for each thing.
We can. We got a
So,
million.
Yeah, but like
interested in others too.
Yes, we want to hear your
Yep.
stories. I'd love to know.
We're not super special. There's lots of cool shit going on out there.
I find human stories the most engaging, and I'd love to hear how you're spontaneous, how you live in simplicity, and your naturalness. I love those stories. I think I get a lot of value in my client work hearing about their examples of how they live and things
Right.
too, because
Can be wisdom.
can be inspirational.
Yep.
So
Yep.
please share it. We would love to hear it. And also, if you want to follow along, it is better for you if you do subscribe, just so that you can see when we do post something, because this is a series that we're going to be continually updating. So up to you, no pressure. But if you really want to follow along, click that subscribe button. Thank
That's
you.
a wrap. See ya.